Okay, we're live once again and just watching for people to come in. You will need for this workout, she says, having put her roller down, you will need your roller. Here we have said roller. For this workout, find your roller. Good morning, Diane. Great to see you here. You will need a roller and that's it really, just having a roller. We're going to use the roller in different ways. We'll start off with very known ways and then we'll find a development really. I think I've decided, because of comments, to make the roller progression every day this week, to try and ground us, so that whenever we choose to pick up that roller, we kind of use it for what it was intended. Let me know you're in the room. I appreciate that a couple of times now we've had a real freeze out, as everyone's, I think, trying to get on together. I'm hoping that this won't be freeze out. Morning, Sarah. I've also taken my shoes off today. So here's seeing whether that or not I will freeze again, hoping not to freeze. So find yourself in the room. You will use a roller and make sure you can see yourself, well, see the screen, not necessarily yourself, see the screen and you have your roller. You get yourselves ready as I just go and set up another camera. It looks like we're all going good. Helen and Sue Lewis. This is workout 138 and the workout is making part of our roller series. The feedback yesterday was significant for me to appreciate that the first video you all found quite accessible. That was the roller legs, strengthening the legs. The second video, the comments were genuinely, I kind of knew where I was meant to be, but I wasn't strong enough to hold the shape. Hi Maria. So I've decided to kind of go, right, let's press pause and let's dive into everything to do with the use of your roller to create more core connection, but finding the right place for you and the right level. Your start position will be using this roller. Morning, Margaret. You will be starting with your feet most clearly parallel. Spread out those toes of yours, soften off at the knees, and then place your hands, let me show the light grey part, there you go. Place your hands on the roller as you did yesterday, so picking up where we left off. I'm going to give a few more moments for everyone to get in the room before I truly progress, but very aware that I need to not kind of labour things that we can already do, because I want to do things we can't yet do. You're holding your roller is against your thigh bones, the palm of the hand, as you understood yesterday, is gently pressing against the roller. Morning, Jane. Your heels know where the ground is. Your thigh bones haven't rolled in towards each other, so you've not got knocked knees. You're pulling out against the outsides of your feet and your arches. And as we wait for everyone to come in, start to explore your range of movement through the three big joints. Morning, Lorna. You're hinging at the hip, you're bending at the knee, and you're bending at the ankle. So the hinge joints are all working. Hi, Chris. Inhale, down you go. Pull your collarbones wide open and pull your shoulder blades back. We slowly go at this. We're picking up the roller where we left off really yesterday in standing, or the previous video about standing roller. Keep going with this as we wait for our body to connect with both the equipment, which is your roller, the ground that your feet are against, and then your body and how it positions itself. The feel for your elbows pulling backwards, pressing down the roller as though it was pushing onto the actual bone of the thigh. Inhaling to down you go. In this opening moment, you're simply creating a symmetry connection. None of us naturally flow with perfect alignment, left to right, right to left. You're warming up and finding that flow, that angle of the hinge joints, everything working in neutral, and your breathing muscles becoming a priority. Morning, Thomas. Next time you find yourself in your squat, you're going to go down into the squat and stay down there. Once again, ground yourself by pressing down to the heels. If you're stood in sand, imagine your arches of your feet active and the outsides of your feet dominantly pressing down with the heels. Pressing down with the hands then, exhale and invite your pelvic floor to connect by doing the pelvic tilt. Inhale. Breathing out, the shoulder blades are together. You pelvic tilt and inhale, find yourself back to neutral. The breath out of the pelvic tilt is your pelvic floor, drawing the navel to spine and inhaling back to neutral. You just have one more. Experience the sit bones almost tucking under you fractionally, the abdominals gently tightening with the pelvic floor, and that's your lower back mobilised. We're going to stand up again to the position of standing, ready for squat and stand. We're going to do 5 more squats before we warm up further up the spine. The squat, remember, giving you the blood flow and creating global stabilisation. 2 more squats where you're accurately, gently pulling against that roller, pressing down with the heels, pressing down on the roller, down to stay. Now mobilising the neck and the upper back between the shoulder blades. Keep your elbows pulling back, keep the knees backwards of your ankles or your toes in reality. Breath out then, chin nod and bend your rib cage in half. Don't roll the roller, but do press the roller against your thighs. Breathe in, pull your shoulder blades together to bring yourself out of that. Now if you know that as you do this, you tend to drop your chest, people like Chris and Tom, try not to. The breath out is the chin nod, the pelvic floor, the nerve spine, the lower back goes nowhere. You can feel your hamstrings helping support you as you hold the flexion in the squat shape. So now the next time you do your forwards nod, you're going to stay forwards nod. As you bend your rib cage over, this is where we start rolling the arms down the roller. Now my forearms are on the roller, my arms are now straight. I'm ready then to follow the roller down, keeping my legs bent and my lower back out of it, as far down as my spine allows. I breathe in. Breathing out, I'll bend my elbows, my arms to pull the roller back to where I started, and then on the next breath out, I'll roll all the way up to stand. We're going to do 4 more rhythms like that. You find your grounding squat, elbows back, hips back, flexion at all the big joints. You then exhale to nod the chin, keeping the roller still as you bend the thoracic part of the spine that's taken so much hammering in everyday life. The next breath out is the pushing of your arms down. My arms are suddenly straight, the roller has got equal pressure rolling down past my knee joint. I flow the roller down, huge inhale into the back of me. Exhaling, I'll move only the arms so my elbows pull back towards my trunk. And then I'll pelvic tilt to return my spine shape back to neutral standing. Breath in, elbows back, hips back, knees hinge, ankles. Equal pressure on the roller. Exhaling, chin nod and thoracic spine rolling, rolling, rolling. No bottoms tucking under, no legs straightening. Inhaling, pull your elbows back. Exhaling, reverse rotation or reverse position, rolling the spine back up with 2 more. This should feel lovely. If it doesn't, there's something going wrong. Use your roller as you bend. Remember, you're looking for the roller to create a better symmetry of connection. Inhale with the volume that's biggest. Breath out, pelvic tilting, spinal lengthening, shoulders placing. This is your last one. So you're warming up, mobilising and stabilising the spine, treating the spine as a series of segments that have an order. Rather than just bending generally, you're learning to articulate all of the spine. Okay people, that made the warm-up there. The final part of your warm-up then is to open the hip, take your thighs wide, keep the roller position as it was, and you've got your sumo squat where, again, the roller goes nowhere. Inhale down into the squat and breath out. Your feet do not want to turn out. Morning Elaine and Debbie. Don't let your thighs roll in. Your thighs have to roll or push outwards, and the knee joint can't be impacted by any of these movements. So as you hinge at the hip, it's the same as the previous squat. This is your sumo squat. You're pressing down against the roller, against the thighs to find that grounding. Stay down there this time. Get the inhale and exhale, the shoulder blades together, the push of the hands on the roller, the heels into the ground. And you're going to go down an inch and up an inch. If you want more turn out, you need to pull your thighs and knees over the toes. So I've just taken my feet to a bit more turn out because I get a better activation of my glutes. You're in a bent hip, a bent knee, and your shoulders and upper spine though are lengthened. All right, stay down there this time, breathe. We're going to change the position now, pelvic tilt to get your back into a straight spine. I'm going to change your view of me. I'm still in the sumo squat, but I've got a more upright spine. I've still got my hands on the roller. I'm going to pull the roller up to the pelvis. Breathe in, turn the head and look over your shoulder, and then slide the shoulders to where the head went. Breathe, exhale, and pull the roller back to equal pressure through both legs. Inhale, breathing out, I'll turn to the other shoulder, and I pull the roll around with my shoulders, so the shoulder carries rotation, nothing else, and I return back again. If you're someone who's really struggling to locate the right part of rotation of the spine, turn the head only, and then turn back, breathing. Exhaling, turn the head, breathing. I'm going to do one final movement of rotation. So you turn the head to look over the shoulders, relax. I'm then going to pull my shoulder blade backwards. And it's like the roller finds itself, if I look down, I'm in the middle of the roller on one of my thighs. I then roll back or rotate back. It's so subtle, it's so smooth. It's more spiral-esque than it is a quaking and a kind of really intense global movement. It's so subtle. People, when you come back to centre, stand up again. And now we have a different position. So you stay where you are, because we're now going to do some rotation and flexion. Find that comfortable seated area. You're sitting your bottom back. I've got, because I'm lordotic, I'm slightly more forwards than I would be if I was sway back or flat back. Listen to the cueing. My roller is level. I'm going to bring the roller then over one of my thighs. My shoulder blades, collarbones are squeezing towards each other. My nose is pointing the direction of that right thigh. Exhale, chin nod, elbows bend. Inhale, roll the roller away and follow it, and don't twist too far round. Breathe. Exhale, bend your elbows till the roller comes back towards the top of the thigh. Return the spine back up and then come back to centre. Inhale, stand up tall to ease off the legs and the inside of the knee area, muscular speaking. Going to the other side then. You'll turn. You know it's right because it's not in your lower back. It's your shoulders that rotated. It doesn't matter if the rotation's small. It's that you rotate within your range. Shoulder blades, chin nod, position 1. Rib cage bend, position 2. Elbows stay bent. Position then reaches, and you feel this lengthening stretch thoracically and into the side of the hip. If it's in your lower back, you bend forwards too much. Pull your elbows back, return back, and come to centre. I'm going to leave that there, but finish off with rolling down, just in case anyone twisted into their lower back, because it's totally heard of in a group, age, population, and demographic that I teach. Come back up. This is where we progress on. You're now going to use the roller as though it's a walking stick or a frame. It's basically going to ground you through one side of the body so we can get some single leg work done. Find yourself into, actually I've just realised I've missed something out. Don't do what I've just said. Bring the roller forwards so that it's level with both feet. I've got the roller as my midline, my hands are pressing onto it. This is where Ken, I do have some tall rollers by 2 inches, so the taller you are, the more you might have to modify this. Go back into your squat, have your legs relatively tight together, I think, and come back up. The roller's here now for you to connect. As you push against the roller with the hands, your elbows bend. The same principles as earlier, it's just that the roller now connects you from your hands to the ground as your heels connect you heels to hands, as it were. The roller becomes something that you use to feel the stability of the ground. Learn to push into the roller. If you're not sure what I mean, try not pushing into the roller, leave your hands light, and then try on the breath out to push against the roller. You will make sense of this if you repeatedly go at this video for learning purposes. Next time we're down, we're going to stay, okay? We're here, shoulder blades, collarbones, basic squat. Peel one foot to tiptoes and use the roller to push against as you lower and lift through the single leg that's down there. Resisting twist. I feel as though my sternum is kind of lined up with my roller pointing at it, and then put that heel down. Pick up your other heel. You're resisting drifting over to one side. The roller should give you more feedback about where the upper body and the lower body connect to the leg. You've got 2 more, and then heel down. All right, now watch this. Slowly push your arms straight and the roller will end up on its edge, furthest away from you. Once the roller is there, pull your bottom in the opposite direction and lower into a huge stretch. Breathe in. Breathe out. Start to slowly pull the roller back by bending the elbows and coming back into more of a squat. And we repeat. You're learning to allow the arms to reach without your shoulders elevating. Inhale, exhale, create what we call increased length. I sit into my seat bum area more, but I reach my upper spine area. Exhale, shrink the tongue. Pull against the heels, bend your elbows and come back up again. We're going to do one more. Inhaling, deepen and push your arms away. Exhaling, hollow the abdominals. As though one end of the trunk, that's the sit bones, the other end of the trunk, the shoulders, are going in opposing directions, creating length and returning back and standing up. Going at that in a different pose, find your plie. We're not going to labour this, but you go into your plie down and up. Inhaling, find your grounding through the roller. The roller should stay absolutely still. You might have one hand on top of each other, you might have your hands holding. All that matters is that this roller doesn't just happen to be here. The roller is a piece of equipment to give you a better sensation in your body. Go down and stay. Staying down here this time then, we're going straight into pushing that roller away and then send your sit bones back. So now we've got the side bottom. This is the change here. To come out of this shape, breath out to pelvic tilt. And as my spine flexes from tailbone through middle rib cage, I find myself stood up and my roller stood up. Let's go again. Find your plie squat. The roller stays absolutely still. I know where my heels are, I know where my hips are, I know where my hands are. Inhaling, I'm going to allow the roller to reach away from me. And exhaling, I'm going to sit deep down. It's lengthening stretch. On the next breath out, pelvic tilt. As I roll through the lumbar area, pelvic floor, internal obliques, no bum squeezing, I'll slowly grow the spine until I'm upright. This is your last one. You're in your plie, resisting all of the asymmetry. You're in your reach. You're using your breathing muscles as best you can, as deep as you can, as you find yourself into this lengthened opposition work. Breath out then, shrink the tongue, roll through your pelvis, simultaneously start bending through the elbows and bring yourself to stand. I can only encourage you to do that again on your own. It's especially if you've been at the computer all day, get into it. I'm going to expose you to single legs just for a few moments, which is really the journey we're going to move into. Your roller now is to one side. My elbow is bent. I'm not reaching my roller so far out, I'm having to lengthen through it. If you could see a side profile, my upper arm's by the side of my ribs and my hand is on that roller. The roller is forwards of my pelvis. It's possibly the best way for you to understand it. If my feet are at the edge of my mat, level with each other, my roller is off my mat at the edge, and that puts into perfect position for me to play around with single leg stabilisation. We'll have the feet close together and we'll have the knees soft, as you understand. Create your best open collarbone area and pelvic neutral. Place your hands over the pelvic area below the belly button towards the navel, and make sure you're not gripping your bottom. Slow motion, peel the foot that's nearest the roller and take it to knee lift, and slow motion lower it back down again. Your aim is to not drift to the left or to the right, to not allow the ankle joint to roll the standing leg as you move one leg from under you and back. You're looking to create absolute symmetry. The side bottom of this standing leg will start to switch on. I'm actually using the roller to press my hands through it as though it could feel the ground. So my right foot and my left armpit are connected to the ground. One through the roller, one through physically standing. Leave your leg into a knee lift, stay, put your hand on your hip. Now bend and straighten-ish the standing leg. So as I lower and lift 5 times, You're aiming to not let the knee joint roll in or out. This is single leg stabilisation for people like ourselves. Next time, I keep my leg relatively still, not locked out. I'm going to take the free leg and tap it back towards the back end of my mat. Resist, twist, pull it forwards and up into a knee lift. Inhaling, I'm going to take it back, tap. Exhaling, pull it forwards. There's no shift, twist. So you won't see my posture deviating left or right. You'll see absolute alignment because I'm using appropriately the roller as a tactile cue, a kinesthetic connection to give me a better single leg stabilisation. Leave your leg back this time. From here then, you're going to let the leg lift and you're going to tip, 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 breathe, and then come back until your foot feels as though it's at the back edge of your mat. Inhaling, keep the standing leg soft. Tip. Effectively, it's like being in arabesque. If you find your roller moving all over the place, don't go as far. The movement is origin hip, so it's as my hip flexors, my back leg lifts. I'm not lifting my back leg, I am letting the flexion at the hip joint and the reach of my back leg allow me to lift. And this standing leg, you've got a global stabilisation. The spine trunk length stays in its neutral positioning and you're resisting twist. I've got one more. The hamstring on the leg that's reaching out definitely knows it's active in stabilising, and I come back. Okay people, you for the other side. I'm going to give a side view of this. You stay as you are, feet are level. The roller on the other side then, hollow through the hip bones, and then you're letting the knee lift and lower. Your aim is to neither deviate to the left nor to the right. To recruit the pelvic area, if I had you in my company, I'd be checking that back extensors are passive so that the trunk stabilisers are active. Your standing leg is not locked out. Next time, stay. Staying with your knee lift, a gentle bend and straighten with the standing leg. If your left leg, my standing leg, bends, then it stands to reason that your right elbow that's holding onto the roller or pushing down into the roller also bends as the knee and the hip flexors and stands. This is a small range and it's stability work. The ankle and arch of your foot staying neutral, in other words, they shouldn't be rolled in, and staying where you are. You're now going to tap behind you and then come back up to knee. Aiming to keep the pelvis absolutely level. And cue the breath. Inhale, take the leg back, breath out, hinge at the hip, pull it forwards. Inhale, behind you it goes, breathe out, pull it forwards, rotate back and stay. Don't let the roller lean. This is where as you stretch the leg and hinge at the standing leg, and then you come back till it taps. That's my diagonal line, isn't it? Inhaling, and pushing through my hand and my heel. Breathing in, tipping, tilting, flexing. The pelvis, in other words, hinging, and because I've got a reach of my leg, trunk stabilising, and the hamstring on my back leg is active, as on my abdominal obliques. We're going to do one more. Reach, elbow bend, leg reaches, and return up. Okay folks, that's all we have time for in this series. Finish off then. Put your hands on the roller, find a bit of a squat, big breath in. Breathing out, forwards nod the chin, and take the cue for the roller rolling down the thighs, your arms rolling straight, and breathe. Exhaling, do the reverse. And the sensation of reorganising the spine to standing. Take the roller, either end of it, take it to the forehead, breathe in. Breathe out, push it away and reach the chest up as though your roller could touch your ceiling. Don't look out your knees, but do press down into your heels and then pull the roller down to the chest, roll your shoulders, and there you have it. And add on to your body's understanding of how to work with the roller. I'm going to do this, I think, most days this week. I'll only stop doing it when I run out of material effectiveness. Okay. Feedback to me, because that determines whether I'm at just the right level for those doing these videos or whether I need to alter it. Whichever way, 5 minutes from now, we will have the roller version for lying on your back, which will be harder because it always is. Okay, stay well, and I'll see you soon.